Race number 8 on the season, the 4th season of the NRSL Reese's Rally Car Series, live here north of the border as we are here in Montreal, Canada. We are getting set here for the lead up to maybe, I guess, the final 2 really big races of the season. Next week we're going to Island Rally. It's our final power stage race where the bonus points come into the top 5 finishers. And then, of course, the following week we crown a champion at Baja Rally in the season finale. So this is the race that leads up to the race that leads up to the championship, I guess we could safely say. And we're coming off the heels of a very interesting race at Charlotte Roval last week, where we saw a number of drivers manage to finish up inside of the top 10, get themselves some points, and close up the gap between themselves and Wade Brummer, who looked like he might be running away with this thing after he picked up his second win of the season in the power stage race the week before at Watkins Glen. It's a whole new ball game coming into this one, and we're going to have to wait and see what kind of a part Montreal has to play into the outcome of our champion in 2 weeks. Wade Brummer now only comes into this race with a meager 9-point advantage between himself and Mitchell Collins. Last week's winner, Jesse Turner, is only 15 points back. 17 points back, Jonathan Zoerlein, and Carson Gum, who had a runner-up finish last week, he's only 25 points back. That can be made up with a victory here today. So there are a lot of drivers coming to this race mathematically still have a shot at this championship. And of course, Stobart Racing, coming off their win last week, they've got the other driver, C Dollerton, lining up on the pole for today's race alongside of Jessica Shelton. Shelton got her, I believe, was second top 10 finish of the season, and she's 15th in the points, only 41 points back. There's still a chance for her to be in the championship picture with 3 races left to go in the season. So it is not over by any stretch of the imagination. After Montreal is done, we'll have a clear picture of who's still in the running, but for now, let's go down trackside and get those most famous words in motorsports.
Drivers, start your engines.
So we gave you the top 5. Let's go a little bit further down the list. Levi McIntire looked like he was going to win last week before the pit stops took place. He's 6th in points, still 30 points out, so see, he still has a shot. Ryan Acosta and Carter Friesen, they're 31 points back. They still have a shot. Derek Hamill, he's 32 points back, 33 points back. Diego Yepez, they still mathematically have a shot, as do drivers like Quentin Moore, Dylan Young, Jordan Lopez, Sebastian Cucalon, and the aforementioned Jessica Shelton. Depending on what happens here today, they could find themselves within 10 to 15 points of the points leader heading into next week at Island Rally. It really all depends on how they do here today at Montreal. And I think I saw Wade Brummer starting close to the rear again too, and wow, that's a very strange camera angle. Let's get out of that, shall we? That was not a good camera angle at all. That was a spazzy camera angle. Guess we'll go to the TV1 cam. Pace car peels off. And here we go, getting ready to go racing. Waiting, still waiting, and come on, flagman. Green flags in the air, we're racing at Montreal. Remember, no cautions, and this track, in other races that I've run, we end up having quite a number of wrecks with drivers not willing to give each other room, and we almost had a wreck right there at the front of the field. Dollerton slips off the course. Shelton's going to drive by and take the top position. I was going to say, before we had that spazzy camera angle, I noticed the red roof of Wade Brummer starting far in the field again here this week. He did not start well at Charlotte Roval last week, so his qualifying efforts really should step up, I would think, if he's going to keep his points lead. Another driver who qualified well last week and qualified well this week, Mitchell Collins, trying to run down Wade Brummer for the points lead. Only 9 points back coming into this race. Right now up in 3rd position. Get C Dollerton for 2nd. And A LaPlante finished dead last week at Charlotte Roval, trying to bounce back from that. Good run right now, good qualifying effort. Up in the 4th spot. Brooke Allen right behind there in 5th place. Now under fire from Derek Hamill for that final spot in the top 5. Can't get it. Cucalon finished out of the race last week as well. He's currently in 7th. Poteet currently in 8th. 9th place under contest. This is 9th and 10th. That's Johnny Gardner side by side with Ryan Brommer, and 2 drivers come into this race still looking for their first points of the season. Zach Rogers was able to nip 10th place last week, so he got his first. Oh wow, Gardner slammed the wall off that corner. But Rogers was able to get a point last week, finishing in 10th place. So Matt McIntire, the car we're looking at here, as well as Alexander Rowe. They are the last two drivers that need to score points this season, both of them Mitsubishi Lancer drivers. Cucalon, I think, just lost a spot to D Hamill. That was a battle for 6th. So right now, J Shelton showing the way. Shelton, as we mentioned, with a great run last week at Charlotte Roval. Now only 41 points back, and if she wins here today, she could cut the points lead down to as little as 16 points heading into next week if she's able to get the win and get the 25 points. Chris Dollerton, he's only 46 points back, so he could have a shot with the win of having a late season charge for the championship. Of course, Dollerton, the last series that we ran that was similar to this kind of a point system and everything, was the Super Stadium Truck Series, and Dollerton went on to win that championship. Right now, Mitchell Collins sitting in 3rd. 3rd place gets you 15 points. So right now, if we were looking at live point standings with Wade Brummer nowhere inside the top 10, Collins would have a 6-point advantage over Wade Brummer heading into next week's race at Island Rally. Shelton, Dollerton, look at him slide off that corner. They're all keeping it together pretty well, though. Oh, I think Matt McIntire may have slammed it. And I think that was Zoerlein back there that also pounded it pretty good. Let's drop back, find Wade Brummer. I know he started close to the back of the pack. Wait, is he way back here? Oh my goodness gracious, he is not running well again. It's back here with Jesse Turner, last week's winner. Just ahead of him is Patrick Smith. Just behind him, Juan Garcia, who finished 9th last week at Charlotte Roval after he was on pit road. Looks like there might be some damage, actually, on the front of Wade Brummer's Mitsubishi. The only 2-time winner this season, and right now he is slowly dwindling out of the championship picture. Sebastian Cucalon's on pit road there in the 1 car. A lot of front-end damage. He was up inside the top 10. Ryan Acosta, after back-to-back top 10 finishes at Charlotte Roval and the week before at Watkins Glen, he's on pit road, and he's out of the race. And that's T Wright in the 34. Matthew Rodriguez, hoodless, still running. He's in 36th right now, which means we have another driver out of the race, I think. And that's Carson Gum, who finished 2nd last week. His day is over. Wow, that's huge for Carson Gum. He came into this race only 25 points out of the points lead. Was riding some good momentum. And I can't say it now, but that might have taken him out of contention for the championship. We got another car coming to pit road. That's the 24 of Jordan Lopez. Lopez 13th in points. See if we can drop towards the back. See him coming to pit road, as that was Cole Deaver right there with a lot of front-end damage I saw. Lopez is sitting on pit road, so I don't know if they're going to get him back out there or not. I'm going to fall back to Deaver. That car is badly off the pace, very slow, a lot of front-end damage. A lot of the Citroen Xaras have been victims here in the early stages. Deaver, Cucalon, Carson Gum, who's already DNF'd. Lopez still sits on pit road. So up front, Shelton continues to lead the way over Chris Dollerton, Mitchell Collins, and Austin LaPlante. It's going to be interesting to see as far as the fuel window for these drivers when they're going to come to pit road. Last week at Charlotte Roval was unusual, because most of the races we've been to, with possibly the exception of Nürburgring, because that was a race, a road course unto itself, but most of the races we've gone to, we've ended up seeing the pit stop take place somewhere at the midway point of the race, somewhere around, 16 minutes to go, 15 minutes to go, maybe as late as 13 minutes to go, but we didn't have the pit stops in the Charlotte Roval race until somewhere around 8 to 7 minutes to go. It was really late in the running when we had those pit stops take place. So, gotta wonder if we're going to have something like that here today, or will they be more traditionally around the midway point or not? We had a couple more drivers on pit lane. One of them appeared to be another Citroen Xara and J Gardner. I couldn't tell who the Subaru was. There was a Subaru. T Wright off the pace again in the 34. We saw him on pit road. Oh, it's Dylan Young in the 89. It was the Subaru I saw. There's another Subaru up ahead of them. That's D Hamill in the 95. Hamill 9th in points, Young 12th in points on pit road, and Carter Friesen just had to teleport to pit lane. Zach Rogers, W Brummer on pit road, along with Patrick Smith, and I don't know if this is regularly scheduled stops for them. They all came down together. Shelton continues to show the way. However, there are no bonus points for leading the most laps, no bonus points for leading a lap. It's just all about finishing in the top 10. Allan off the course just a little bit there. Seems like a good battle brewing for the 5th position. D Poteet closing in. R Brommer back there as well as Poteet shoots to the inside or the outside, depending on what turn you're in. And not clear yet. Coming into another right-hander, so Poteet would have the inside advantage in this corner. They might be double wide coming through this chicane, coming to the start-finish line, which could be dangerous. Nope, not dangerous at all, because Brooke Allen's coming to pit road. Got a couple of cars coming on here. Adam Garcia, Jonathan Zoerlein. Is this regularly scheduled stops is the question, or are they coming to pit road for damage repair? That pops up a few more new faces into the top 10. It's LaPlante trying to get around the now lap machine of W Brummer. He's in 4th. Poteet now 5th. R Brommer now moves into 6th. M McIntire in 7th. So right now he's in line to get his first points of the season. Oh, he just brushed the wall there pretty well. There's no safer barriers here. There's concrete walls and steel guardrails. So you hit the wall, you're going to get some pretty good damage. That might be why we've seen some of these leaders have to hit pit road. Drivers up inside the top 10. Z Winkle right now running in 8th place. J Jefferson currently in 9th. Couple of Ford Focuses. And then Levi McIntire trying to bounce back from the pit road mishap last week that may have very well cost him the win. Right now he is in 10th. He just took the spot away from J Shelly moments ago. Shelly trying to finish in the top 10 for the 2nd straight week. Looks like this is the only Citroen Xara that's having a good run right now. We've seen J Gardner on pit road, Sebastian Cucalon on pit road, A Garcia's at the rear of the field, Carson Gum is out of the race, Cole Deaver is badly mangled. Julius Anderson right now in 13th. I think right now is the only hope for Citroen, at least for the moment. C Dollerton in 2nd place, and he's coming to pit road, giving up the 2nd position. I think some of these drivers are coming to pit lane because of the damage they sustained going around the track. Like I said, it's concrete walls. And Levi McIntire is coming in the 99. So I think that these drivers, they brush the walls, whether it be the steel guardrails or the concrete walls, and it's forcing them to have to come to pit road. It's probably affecting the handling. They probably have their fenders pushed in. So right now, it's looking like it's a battle of who can keep their car the cleanest. So far, Shelton out in front. She's been able to determine how fast she enters a corner, what line she chooses. So right now, her car is clean and spotless. I think as long as she keeps that car in one piece, doesn't make a mistake, doesn't slip up and hit anything, I think she's going to be okay, at least for right now. Mitchell Collins now moves into 2nd. And every spot that Mitchell Collins gains is one more spot that... one more point rather, that Collins is going to gain on W Brummer. And Brummer, riding behind Collins, has to see every position that Collins is gaining. LaPlante there in 3rd. Brummer has probably faster lap times with newer tires. Actually, his lap time was slower than LaPlante's last time by, so never mind that. So he was probably a little bit of a hindrance right now for LaPlante, actually. And I think LaPlante's coming to pit road. Yes, he is. I saw that The 50 was moving out of the way. Collins is on pit road as well in the 96. So that is second and third place. So is that when we're making our pit stops? Is this the time we're making our pit stops? Seems awfully early. I mean, we just a few moments ago got under the 20-minute mark. So right now, it looks like Shelton, all of her competition. Oh, goodness, she just hit the wall really hard off that corner. And that might be enough to send her to pit road. I thought being out in front, having a huge lead, she was going to be able to, you know, make her way safely through. Maybe she doesn't even have a choice. I mean, we're seeing a lot of drivers up at the front having to come to pit road. I think maybe a good reason is because they're just not finding any grip in these corners. There's no banking. This is a flat road course. There's not a whole heck of a lot of runoff, so if your brakes fail, I mean, that thing's going to hit the wall sooner or later, and I think that might be what happened to Shelton. Now we're going to have to see if Shelton's going to have to come to pit road, and if she does, that's going to turn the race lead over, I believe, to D Poteet, who was over 6 seconds back last time by, and there are 2 lap machines between Shelton and Poteet. This would actually put Zach Rogers possibly back in the lead lap. Let's see if Shelton's coming to pits, and it looks like she is. So she's going to give up the lead. No, she's not. Never mind. I am a liar. Shelton will keep the top spot. Poteet in second as he drifts through that corner. Third place, M McIntire is coming to pit road, though. That will give third place to, I believe, Z Winkle. Jefferson will move to fourth, and J Shelly will now be in the top 5. K Mathews, he's now up to 6th. Quentin Moore, former winner this season, he's going to be in 8th, our winner from Mexico City. He crossed in 8th, actually, he's in 7th. Looks like Jonathan Zoerlein might pop back into the top 10 now, along with maybe B Allan and D Hamill, depending on this pit stop for M McIntire. It's a good battle going on right now for what is currently the 3rd position. Z Winkle, rear deck lid full of J Jefferson. Jefferson making the move. It's on the curb just a little bit. So too does Z Winkle, and Jefferson gets off course. That opened the door. J Shelly says, "Thank you very much. I'll take 4th." Shelton continuing to show the way. Got to wonder about that right side damage, just how long she's going to be able to get around the course with it. Thought she was pitting last time by, this time by, stays out again. So I guess that hit wasn't hard enough for her to have to come to pit road. D Poteet has been slowly closing the gap up, though. Last time by was about 6 seconds, then it cut down to about 5. Let's see what the gap is this time around. 5.1 now to 5.3, so Shelton gained 0.2. You see popping up there into the top 10 now. Quentin Moore in 8th, Zoerlein in 9th, and right now B Allan would complete the top 10. Now he's still running, he's a lap down. I was wondering if W Brummer might be able to be picking up some spots with all these other drivers having to pit. Obviously, that's not the case. He's still trapped in 31st, and I think he's actually 2 laps down. Let's document drivers that are out of the race at this point. We do have a couple more. C Friesen will finish 32nd. Sebastian Cucalon 33rd. Back-to-back DNFs for him. T Deaver 34th. T Wright in 35th, and we already mentioned Ryan Acosta and Carson Gum finishing 36th and 37th. Yeah, 2 cars a lap down, actually. Are Zach Rogers and W Brummer. Everybody else is on the tail end of the lead lap. Last of those, Cole Baker in 29th. Zach Rogers showing right here that either he has fresher tires or Shelton's tires are wearing and that damage is causing some issues, because he is closing on Shelton, and Shelton's actually closing in on the tail end of the field, about just a straightaway ahead is Cole Baker, Juan Garcia. Matthew Rodriguez back on pit road. Patrick Smith there as well, just on the tail end of the lead lap. And Shelton hits pit lane. Now, whether this is a regularly scheduled stop or not, I don't know. It's past the halfway point, so it might be a regularly scheduled stop. But she is going to spend a little bit extra time on pit road, too, I think, for having to repair that right side damage. Z Winkle hits pit road as well. That turns the race lead over to D Poteet in the 75. So let's just put it this way. There has to be a lot of attrition that goes on here for Wade Brummer to get up into the top 10. And as I look right now at drivers where they're running, and D Poteet just got the wall there, the same wall that Shelton got about 3 laps ago. I'm looking up here in the top 10 at drivers that can maybe make a charge here at Wade Brummer. I'm only seeing maybe one, and that would be Quentin Moore. 36 points coming into this race behind Wade Brummer. I mean, Mitchell Collins fell out of the top 10. Jesse Turner has had some issues here today. Zoerlein, he's 8th right now. And he was 17 points back, so Zoerlein might be the number 1 guy right now. Carson Gumb's out of the race. Levi McIntire is off the pace a bit. So yeah, I think that right now, the only 2 drivers I could see that might have a shot of closing in, not necessarily taking the points lead, but closing in, would be the 30 of Jonathan Zoerlein and the 94 of Quentin Moore. And Poteet is pitting. I think he was already planning to pit, but that hit to the wall, I think, definitely made up his mind for him, and that's going to turn the lead over to J Jefferson, as James Shelly will pit from the 3rd position. K Mathews looking to see if he's pitting or not. He's staying out. So Ford Focuses will be 1 and 2. Mathews will move up to 2nd. 3rd place is going to be Quentin Moore. And with every position he's picking up, that's more points he's picking up as well. And take a look at the clock. Getting close to 10 minutes. Now, I believe Jefferson, Mathews, Quentin Moore, they still have to pit, though. So we'll have to see, especially between Jefferson and Poteet, who's going to come out cycling as the leader. It would more than likely be Poteet, but remember, Poteet got that right side damage before he came to pit lane. That'll be a little bit longer of a pit stop for him. Right now, I don't see any damage on J Jefferson's machine. Last week, I think, double check, but I think last week was the first win for Ford. Yes, it was, with Jesse Turner going to victory lane. So if Jefferson or Mathews can follow it up, that'd be their 2nd win of the season. So far, 2 wins for Mitsubishi Lancer, both of those coming courtesy of Wade Brummer. And then coming into this race, Subaru has 4 victories. Mitchell Collins, Derek Hamill, Quentin Moore, and Dylan Young. And Jefferson's coming to pit road this time. I think this is a regularly scheduled stop for the 31. Quentin Moore got around K Mathews. Let's see if they're both going to hit pit lane this time. Quentin is in. Mathews is in. Jonathan Zoerlein. See if he stays out or not. I don't think he's been to pit road yet, but I'm not 100% certain. He might have. I don't know why I have like a visual in my head of seeing him in the background coming to pit road earlier on in this race, but maybe not. We'll have to see if he stays out here or not. And look who's in 6th. Jessica Shelton. So even after that long pit stop having to repair damage as Zoerlein is in, the lead could possibly cycle back around to the 93. There she is. Let's see if it's going to be the case. She's in a lot of traffic. Mitchell Collins, who's right now in 12th. Dollerton in 10th. I think actually these drivers are all battling for 6th. Gotta wait until they cross the line. Alexander Rowe was 9th last time by. Crosses this time in 5th. Oh yeah, this is a battle actually up here for 5th place between Dollerton, Collins, Rowe, Shelton. That's a terrible place for Matthew Rodriguez to merge back out into traffic. Jefferson came off pit road. In third, D Hamill is the race leader. He's the race leader with Jefferson in second, and Adam Garcia actually just took the spot. He's now in second. Third is J Jefferson, and LaPlante now in fourth. Then you got this battle back here for fifth. Dollerton's got the spot. Sixth, Mitchell Collins. Seventh, Alexander Rowe. Eighth, Johnny Gardner. Ninth, Jessica Shelton. And right now, Levi McIntire would be in 10th. D Poteet now back in 11th. On the outside looking in. Ooh, Matthew Rodriguez! Almost made contact with Levi McIntire, and that slowed up Poteet. Now he's under fire from Dylan Young, and that's actually a battle for the 11th position. So some drivers really getting some comeback here after a early pit stop. But now my question is, those drivers that made that early pit stop, I don't know if they're going to have to pit again before the race concludes or not. Jonathan Zoerlein, long extended stay on pit road for the 30. He's still on pit lane. So D Hamill trying to join Wade Brummer as a two-time winner this season. Hamill picking up the victory in the second race of the year at Sonoma. And Hamill coming into this race was 9th in points, 32 points back. If he wins here today, he could close it up to about 7 points between himself and Wade Brummer. Little over 4 seconds back to Adam Garcia, who has no traffic between himself and the leaders. So Garcia trying to close. You've got Subaru in first, Lancer in second, and Focus in third, as J Jefferson has managed to put a little bit of distance between himself and Austin LaPlante there in fourth. And then it's about 4 seconds back to the battle from fifth on back. Dollerton, Collins, Gardner, Shelton, McIntire, and Rowe. We saw Matt McIntire up here in the top 10 earlier, and it was looking like he was going to score his first points of the season. Well, now it looks like Alexander Rowe could be in position to do that. We'll see what the gap is going to be this time between Hamill and Garcia, and of course the question of can they make it on fuel before the conclusion of this race. Still a little under 6 minutes to go. Hamill, nice corner there, didn't even take that corner wide. Garcia behind him, he had a nice corner as well. 4.38 seconds the last lap. Let's see if it increases, decreases. It is 0.3 more that D Hamill gained on Adam Garcia. There's not a whole heck of a lot of straightaways here, but I don't know if the 31, the 29 can maybe draft together a little bit on these straightaways, try and close up the gap. I don't think that's really going to work. It's a road course, it's not a speedway or a super speedway. I'm trying to remember where D Hamill was running at the time we really had this flurry of drivers coming to pit road. Because like I said, if D Hamill was one of the earlier drivers to come to pit lane, he might be really close on fuel in the closing stages of this race. Same for Adam Garcia. If that's the case, I mean, based off of just my remembering where drivers were running at the time that they came to pit road, and the timing of their pit stops and everything, I think this race, if fuel does become an issue, I think J Jefferson is in the prime position. Because he was one of the later drivers to hit pit road, and he still managed to cycle around in third place. Well, he just lost a couple of spots. Lost a spot there to Austin LaPlante. LaPlante will move into third. I think that they might have encountered drivers coming off of pit road or something. Brooke Allen just ahead of him, who was off the lead lap. So Jefferson now finds himself back in fourth. And Johnny Gardner starting to close in on him for that spot. As Gardner took that corner awfully wide, Levi McIntire is now up into the 7th position. Battle for 8th, Jessica Shelton on the back bumper of Alexander Rowe, and D Poteet back up into the top 10. He's now challenging Shelton for 8th place. Ryan Brommer right now the final spot in the top 10 with Dylan Young hounding him. It's actually not Dylan Young, that's Quentin Moore. Thought Dylan Young was up there in the top 10 a moment ago, but I guess he must have had to come to pit lane. And Julius Anderson right now in 12th, so that battle for inside the top 10 still hot and heavy. Shelton might be a little off the pace. Dylan Poteet made quick work of her. And now he's going to get by Alexander Rowe very quickly. So in a matter of a couple of corners, as soon as I say that, he spins it out. Poteet spins it out, and he's dropping out of the top 10. Oh, man, he tried to make the move there on Alexander Rowe. Couldn't find the grip, and it's going to cost him dearly. Put the steel guardrail as well with the left rear quarter panel. Don't know how extensive that damage is going to be, as McIntire up in 6th. Battle here for 4th. J Gardner on the back bumper of J Jefferson. The gap between the leader and 2nd continues to increase. And LaPlante, who was able to get around Jefferson for 3rd, he's trying to close in on fellow Mitsubishi Lancer Adam Garcia for 2nd. He's going to take the spot because Garcia is on pit road, as is D Hamill. This is what I was wondering about. And another car on pit road. Is that Gardner? I think it is. So now the lead just got turned over to Austin LaPlante. I think it comes down to the timing of the pit stops. And I think LaPlante also is going to have to pit before this race concludes. There is Jefferson, who, as I said, I think this race could play out into his favor. McIntire is now up to 3rd. Shelton now moves to 4th. Brommer to 5th. Quentin Moore would be 6th. 7th would be Anderson. 8th place would be Matt McIntire. K Mathews in 9th. And Poteet right now would still just barely be in the top 10. Wait a minute, where'd the leader go? Oh, there's LaPlante. Yep. So now the question is, as we're closing in on a minute to go, does LaPlante have to pit? Because I think this is coming to 2 to go. Last thing LaPlante wants to do is have to come to pit road on the white flag lap. Does he have enough fuel to make it? We're about to find out if he's going to have to come to pit road or not. If he does, I think Jefferson's got enough fuel to make it the rest of the way. Looks like LaPlante is going to make it down to the start-finish line before zeros go on the clock. Jefferson's closing quickly, too. LaPlante is on pit road. That turns the lead over to J Jefferson in the 31. So it's when LaPlante hits the line, or Jefferson, and they are not going to hit the line before the time is up. Jefferson hits the line now, less than 20 seconds remaining, but next time by will be the white flag lap. So Jefferson is the leader. McIntire in 2nd. Boy, pit road is a busy place. Shelton will be in 3rd. 4th is Quentin Moore. 5th place is K Mathews. Poteet in 6th, as zeros on the clock. 7th, I don't know who it is, as everybody else is basically on pit road. Remember, next time by is the white flag lap. Not this time. We still have over a lap to go, and Jefferson really took that corner badly. McIntire is closing. Jordan Lopez is off the lead lap, trying to get by J Jefferson. I think his goal right now is to get up to B Allan. That's a battle between those two for 27th. McIntire's just got to be smooth here and hope that J Jefferson makes a mistake. But what about these guys? Are they going to be able to make it? Can they make it? A little more than one more lap. Jefferson on the back bumper of B Allan, having to deal with the slower traffic here, both in front and behind him. Levi McIntire, if he can get up there, he might have a shot. Might have a good battle for 3rd back there, too, between Shelton and Quentin Moore. This time by, they will see the white flag. J Jefferson, is he coming to pit road? It looks like he might be. Lopez moves over to the driver's right, and Jefferson had to pit. McIntire had to pit. Does Shelton stay out? No, Shelton's pitting. It looked like. She's pitting, too. Quentin Moore's going to take the lead. White flag in the air. He's in the wall. Here comes K Mathews in the 40. Is he going to be able to reel in Quentin Moore? White flag displayed as Quentin Moore crosses the line. Mathews in second. Does he have enough time to catch Quentin Moore? Moore messed up that final corner, lost a lot of time. Mathews going to have to deal with a slower car, Matthew Rodriguez, who came off pit road. Can Quentin Moore make it? Oh, he's going to hit the wall again. Quentin Moore brushed the wall again. That's going to slow him down. Kyle Mathews trying to close. Now remember, if Quentin Moore cannot make it to the start-finish line, if he has to come to pit road this lap after hitting the wall twice, Kyle Mathews stays out. I don't think with the pit road speed that Quentin Moore is going to be able to win the race by crossing the line on pit road. It all comes down to if Quentin Moore has enough damage that will force him to pit lane, or will he be able to make it back to the start-finish line? Kyle Mathews right now has to deal with two slower cars, so really the ball is in the court of Quentin Moore. Quentin Moore had that win back at Mexico City, trying to be a two-time winner here in the Reese's Rally Car Series. He also would put himself right up there mathematically in the hunt for the championship if he can close out this victory. Kyle Mathews hopes he's sustained enough damage that he's going to have to come to pit lane. Or at least maybe he'll mess up this final corner again. Coming down to the checkers. What's Quentin Moore going to do? Is he coming to pit road? Is he going to try and make it to the checkers? Quentin Moore is on pit road! And Kyle Mathews is on pit road! Who's going to be the winner? Who's going to be the race winner? Oh my goodness, are you kidding me? Where are the pit stalls? Quentin Moore is before the start-finish line. Where is Kyle Mathews? Is it after the start-finish line or before it? It's before it as well! Who the heck's gonna win? Who is gonna win this race? Who's gonna cross the line? I can't tell who it would be. Would it be Hamill? Who between Mathews and Quentin Moore is gonna cross the line? This is to the checkers. This is the most bizarre thing I've ever seen. Mathews still on pit road. So too is Quentin Moore. Here comes Derek Hamill. Can one of these two, Mathews or Moore, cross the line before Hamill gets here? I think he would end up winning this race, but I'm not 100% certain. Just gas and go. Just get to the line. Here comes Hamill. Dude, does he have the race lead? Is he going to cross the line with the race lead? Is he going to be the winner? Waiting to see what the ticker says. He crosses the line. Does he win this race? They've got him still scored in 10th. Who the heck's going to be winner of this race? Is it Gardner? No, Gardner scored in 14th. Brooke Allen's pitting. Who's the driver that this would go to if neither Mathews nor Quentin Moore cross the line? Would it be Shelton? Shelton's still sitting on pit road. Jefferson's still on pit road. McIntire, where's McIntire? It could be Levi McIntire. Where is he? Oh, he's on pit road too. We're waiting for someone to cross the line. Nobody's crossed the line yet. It's still Quentin Moore and Kyle Mathews sitting on pit road. Shelton's sitting on pit road. Jefferson is. McIntire is. It might be LaPlante. LaPlante was scored 6th, and I think he did leave pit road. There he is. We're watching the top left. Who crosses the line? It could be LaPlante who wins this race. He just has to make it to the start-finish line before either Quentin Moore or Kyle Mathews cross. I think. Still sitting there, Kyle Mathews and Quentin Moore. This is the most bizarre finish I have ever seen in my life. This is insane. There is LaPlante. Still not yet towards the start-finish line. J Jefferson getting serviced, but he's about a lap down. I think the same for LaPlante. I think LaPlante's going to have to make another lap. I think he'll cross the line in maybe 6th place. He's got to get back around before Mathews and Quentin Moore. This still continues, I think. This is the most bizarre thing I've ever seen. Levi McIntire leaving pit road. LaPlante just crossed in 7th. Shelton getting service. It's between Mathews and Quentin Moore right now. Who is going to cross the line first? Now, Quentin Moore had damage. I don't think Mathews did. So Quentin Moore's pit stop, when they service him, is going to be a lot longer. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Derek Hamill. I think he might cross. For the win. Where is he? I think Derek Hamill might win. Where's the 95? Did he cross with the win? Where is he? I can't even find him. No, he's still not scored the winner. There he is, scored in 4th. He's got to get around. One more time. This is crazy. This is insane. It's going to be Derek Hamill that'll take the win unless Mathews or Quentin Moore this lap. Where is Hamill? There is Hamill. He was scored in 4th. This time around, I think he would end up being the winner if he crosses the line ahead of these two. Here he comes down through the final corners. Mathews has not moved. Quentin Moore has not moved. Let's see if Hamill has scored the winner. He was 4th last time by. He should move to the race win here at the line. He did. Derek Hamill is the winner of the race. He's a 2-time winner in the Reese's Rally Car Series and maybe one of the most bizarre finishes I have ever had the privilege to commentate. And now the running order is starting to come to fruition. Adam Garcia will be 2nd, Zoerlein 3rd, LaPlante 4th, Gardner 5th, McIntire 6th. We're still waiting on 7th on down. Jefferson's going to get 7th. Who brings it home 8th? It's going to be Quentin Moore in 8th. Kyle Mathews 9th. And who gets that final position? It's D Poteet who's going to finish in 10th. We finally figure it out. Derek Hamill joins Wade Brummer as a 2-time winner. He'll close up the points gap between himself and Brummer as well. And let's now take a look at the full finishing results from today's bizarre race at Montreal. I have to be honest, I've never seen a race end like this before. That was insane. I mean, what did we go, about 10 minutes over the scheduled distance or something? Just waiting for someone to cross the line? That was absolutely crazy. But Derek Hamill, 9th in the points coming to this race, 32 points back from Wade Brummer. He is going to reap the rewards here today. And that would, if my calculations are correct, going to put him somewhere around 7 points back from Wade Brummer heading into next week's race at Island Rally. Adam Garcia is going to bring it home with a solid outing of 2nd place. That is his 2nd top 5 finish of the season. It's actually only his 2nd time finishing out with stage points as well. Jonathan Zoerlein, this is going to be big for him as well. He finishes in 3rd. 3rd, I think, pays out 15 points. Let me just double check on that. Yes, 15 points. He came into this race 17 points behind Wade Brummer. 2 points difference between himself and Brummer heading into next week. LaPlante, great run for him there in 4th. That's a great finish after a DNF dead last week at Charlotte Roval. And Johnny Gardner as well, a great run for him as he'll finish out in 5th. Some redemption for Levi McIntire as well after the pit road miscue last week. He's going to get 6th place here today. J Jefferson brings it home in 7th. Quentin Moore, he came into this race 36 points out. He's going to get some stage points here today with an 8th place run, so we'll see where he is mathematically as far as the title picture next week. Kyle Mathews going to bring it home in 9th place. I thought he was going to win this race. I thought he was going to be able to coast across the start-finish line and win, but not quite able to do it. Almost kind of shades of what happened to him back at the Dakar opening stage where he was en route to, I think it was 3rd or 4th place finish, and he hit the pit road entrance, and he ended up finishing that race out, I think it was in 7th or 8th, but he'll get 9th place here today. And D Poteet, who, I don't know, was this his race to lose when he made that move and it messed up and he spun out? Maybe, maybe not. He will get the final point here, though, finishing in 10th. Jessica Shelton's going to have to settle for 11th place. She was one of the strongest cars of the day, especially early on. Z Winkle's going to get 12th. Ryan Brommer, Julius Anderson, and Matt McIntire complete your top 15. Looked like for a moment Matt McIntire was going to get his first points of the season. Looked like Alexander Rowe was going to get his first points of the season. Neither one of them managed to finish up inside of the top 10. And Wade Brummer, he's going to finish in 21st place. I think he was 22nd last week at Charlotte Roval, so that car has really tapered off in terms of its finishes, and he is paying the price for it, as now there is another 2-time winner here in the Reese's Rally Car Series, and his name is Derek Hamill. You take a look down here at the rest of the finishing results. You had 30 cars finish the race on the lead lap. One lap down was Mitchell Collins, so that's a tough break for Collins, who was trying to close up the gap, was actually in line for a few moments to actually take the points lead over heading into next week, but looks like the gap between himself and Brummer will stay at 9 points. And it's going to be a really close battle now between Zoerlein and Brummer, even closer at 2 points. Drivers out of the race after the incidents today included C Friesen, Sebastian Cucalon, Cole Deaver, T Wright, R Acosta, and Carson Gum. So now it looks like we got Wade Brummer, Mitchell Collins, Jonathan Zoerlein, quite possibly Derek Hamill, and maybe Quentin Moore that are going to be up there battling for this championship now with 2 races remaining. Who else can put their last name bid in there to battle for the championship in the season finale? Gonna have to wait and see. Hope you guys enjoyed today's race here from Montreal. What a crazy race it was. If you enjoyed it, be sure to give us a like, subscribe to become part of the crew today. We've shown you full video results, and these are what your point standings look like heading into next week's race. It's our penultimate race at Island Rally. It's our final power stage race as well, before we find out who's going to mathematically have a shot for the championship in the season finale at Baja Rally. Till then, you've been watching Production of the SRA, Offline Racing at its best, and a race of the NRSL. Till then, I've been Seth Cole. See you later.